is already within your reach. Some of you have gifts. Some of you have talents. Some of you have all of these resources just lying around in your house. And you go and walk by them every single day. Some of you are asking God for this and asking God for that. But the truth of the matter is, everything that you need, God has already given it to you. God told Moses, Moses, what is in your hand? Mount Prospect, that's all I got for you this morning. That the resources that you need, the provision that you need is already in your house. The provision to take this church to another level, the provision to take this church to heights unknown is already under the roof. So Elijah showed her a Christ-like compassion. Elisha shows us a Christ figure in this text. He shows compassion, but then the other part of this, it shows me that it requires activation. And sometimes you need your pastor to activate some things for you. Sometimes it's just a word that God will speak through your pastor to get some things activated, to remind you of some stuff that you already have in your house. So she goes and she says, all I have is a little jar of oil. Oh, my friends. All she had was a little jar of oil. But the prophet gave her instructions. He says, take what you have. I'm going to paraphrase it. Take what you have. Go to your neighbors. Don't open your mouth and tell, because that's some of your problems. God want to bless you, but you talk too much. Some of you talk too much. He didn't say, go run your mouth. He said, go borrow. He didn't say, go and tell your business. Some of you, you talk too much and you tell too much of your business. So she goes and she borrows all of these jars. And she goes with her children. And see, God wants to use you parents to perform a miracle so that your children can see it. Some of you, you forsake the opportunities to allow God to work a miracle in your life. So she goes. She gets the jars. She goes around Rock Hill, and she goes to borrowing. I don't know the neighborhoods around here, but you do. She goes and she borrows, and she knocks on the doors, and she asks for a jar. And I need to stop here because some of you have some neighbors that you can't even go to their houses. Have you shown yourself friendly? Have you shown yourself friendly that if you go to your neighbor's house, they will receive you with open arms? You go to your neighbor's house and they will say, some of you will take what you want. Don't exchange words. But some of you can't go to your neighbor's house because you've been nasty. You haven't shown Christ-like compassion to your neighbors. So she goes and she borrows. The text says she locks herself in the house and she begins to pour. Oh, my friends, I don't want to get in your business, but what do you have? That's the question for the hour. What do you have in your house? What is it that God wants to use that he wants to just keep on doing it? What is it that you have in your house that God wants to use to bless you? Some of you have cooking skills. That's your oil. Some of you are good with your hands and you're good with crafts. That's your oil. Some of you are mechanics and you're looking, asking God for more, and God is saying, listen, everything that you need, man, woman, is already inside of you. so she goes and she borrows. She goes in and she closes the door and she starts pouring. Somebody this morning, this afternoon, it's time for you to close the door. It's time for you to close the door and activate your faith. So she goes and she starts pouring, and every jar that her son's pastor, God just kept on doing it. God just kept on allowing the oil to just keep on flowing. And it just kept on flowing. And it just kept on flowing. What am I trying to tell you? That your little in God's hand is more than enough. Your little in God's hand is abundance. You see a little and God sees a lot. You see a little and God says, trust me. So she starts pouring, and God begins, Pops, to respond to her faith. Bible says without faith it's impossible to please God. Some of you are wondering why nothing is flowing in your life. And it's simply because you lack faith. You simply lack faith. But this woman, even though in her natural she probably said, well, I don't see how this is going to work, she was obedient. And she closed the door. She listened to her pastor. She listened to the man of God. If God has assigned you to this place, I encourage you, I admonish you to heed your pastor's voice. And whatever he tells you, if it lines up with this book, I admonish you to fall in line. I admonish you to do what your pastor says. She started pouring, and the jars started filling up. But that's not the shout. Pops, that's not the shout. The shout that most people drive by is at the last verse. He says, listen, verse 7, when she told the man of God what happened, he said to her, now sell the olive oil, pay your debts, and you and your sons can live off of what is left over. Oh, you missed your chance to shout. God is a God of leftovers. God is a God of more than enough. God is a God of abundance. God is a God of overflow. Growing up in the projects in Atlanta, my sisters and I, we family four grew up in the projects. Yeah. And we shunned leftovers. We laugh about it now. We shunned leftovers. We thought that leftovers, we want something fresh every day. So, Mama, with her wise self, would allow it to get real tight. Mama, I'm hungry. And she would say, boy, you better go in the kitchen and get you some leftovers. What does leftovers represent? Leftovers represent more than enough. Leftovers represent resources for tomorrow. Leftovers represent I got a meal for tomorrow. God gave this woman some leftovers, And that's what he wants to give you. God wants to give you some leftovers, but you got to trust him. You got to have faith enough to believe that, God, I trust you even when I can't trace you. God is tight right now, but I trust you. He's a God of leftovers. He's a God of leftovers. Anybody living off some leftovers? Oh, don't fool me now. Zach told me y'all really have church down here. Is anybody in this house this morning that's living off of the leftovers that God has promised you? So, I'm almost there. My friends, God will let you live off of leftovers. One of my favorite things to eat is gumbo. You say, Dr. Brown, where are you going with this? Here is where I'm going with it. You ask anybody from New Orleans, and they will tell you gumbo is not good until the next day. Gumbo is not good until it's in the pot as leftovers. Gumbo is not good until the next day. Yes. Gumbo with all of the seafood and the chicken and the shrimp and all the okra and all of that stuff. It's not until the seasoning set in that gumbo really, truly becomes good. What am I trying to tell you? That God is going to do a thing in your life. It may not taste good right now. It may not look good right now. But if you keep on hanging in there, if you keep on striving, if you keep on pouring, God will give you some leftovers. He gave me some leftovers one Friday on a hill called Calvary. Jesus died so that we all can have some leftovers. He died one Friday. He stayed